Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kripa classes. Our today's topic is Money Unveiled, exploring its significance, functions, properties and evolution. If we look at history, thousands of years ago, barter system was in force. In the case of barter system, there was direct exchange of goods and services with other goods and services. In this exchange of goods and services, money was not used as a medium of exchange. The only problem with barter system was that there was double coincidence of wants. That is, one must have that thing which the other wants. If say I am having rice and want wheat, I will have to find the person which has wheat and wants rice in return. In the case of barter system, it was also a problem that we were unable to store the value of the goods. For example, we cannot keep to we cannot store our tomatoes, rice for a long time. Goods, vegetables cannot be stored for a long time, fruits cannot be stored for a long time because either their value will reduce drastically or their value will become zero. There was also a problem of deferred payment in the case of barter system, because in the case of barter system there is direct exchange of goods and services with other goods and services. Suppose I avail the services of a particular person for some days, and in return I promise that I will give you say 10 kg of rice, and in the meantime there is lot of rain or lot of heat and all my crops damage. What will I give to the other person, and what the laborer will get, because he was thinking that he will give the 10 kg of rice to his family and they will be able to survive for many days because they live on hand to mouth, they have no other source of income. So deferred payment was a problem in the case of barter system. Now, with the passage of time, metal coins came into force existence, where gold and silver coins were used, but gold and silver coins were also dangerous to carry because they could be snatched by the thieves. With the passage of time, copper coins, nickel, zinc coins came into existence, alloy coins come into existence. Now stainless steel coils are also into existence. With the passage of time, credit money came into force. Then paper money, which we use in the form of currency notes. Then debit card and credit card have also developed, where we need not to carry cash to purchase something. And the latest form of money is electronic money, where we need not to keep plastic cards in the form of debit card, credit card. We need not to keep coins or currency notes in physical form. All the payment is lying somewhere in computer system, and we use internet banking or we use online apps like Google Pay, PayPal and make the payment to other person. So with the passage of time, the form of money has transformed from commodity money to metallic money, then credit money, paper money, debit card or credit card, and then electronic money. Money did not exist in its present form in the past, so there was a lot of problem. Now with the change in the form of money, that is debit card, credit card or present day apps or internet banking, we are in a position to buy anything, even by sitting at home, and the goods are delivered or services are delivered at our home. So in this course, the students will learn what is the meaning of money, what is barter system, and what are its various limitations. We have already uploaded a full course on barter system. You can go through the same and you will learn a lot about the barter system. You will also understand whether barter system is still in use in any part of the world. Yes, it is in use in some parts of African countries, by some African communities, or by some tribal people of Amazon rainforest. An annual fair is also organized where there is lot of barter exchange of direct exchange of goods takes place in Assam in India. It is one of the largest fairs on barter. Because of the limitations of barter system is now rarely used to exchange of for the exchange of goods and services. The students will understand what is meant by metallic money, paper money, plastic money, and electronic money. You will properly understand what it really means if you are to give the answer in the exam. You will also understand what is the meaning of what are the primary and secondary functions of money, why money is the most liquid of all assets, what are the essential properties of money, what is meant by fungibility of money, and has the money how has the money transformed over the course of history. You will find this course very interesting and knowledgeable. Now the topic before us is the essence of money, unlocking its true meaning. Today, when we want anything, we go to the market and purchase it. In return, we give to the shopkeeper currency notes or coins. We may also use our debit card or credit card. If we purchase online, we can also use debit card, credit card, internet banking. So, what is the thing which we have used to purchase the things, to purchase goods or services? This is the money which we use to purchase goods and services. So, the definition of money is anything which is generally accepted as a medium of exchange and at the same time acts as a measure and store of value. So money is anything which we give it to the other person and the other person accepts it. Suppose we go to the market and purchase a TV and give him currency notes or make payment by debit card and the other person accepts it, it is money. The other characteristics of money are that it acts as measure of value. Measure of value means that we can measure the value of the goods or services which we are purchasing. Suppose we are purchasing a TV, a television. Its value is say $1,000. The other TV may be priced at say $2,000. So we can measure the value of goods and services in terms of money. Money is also a store of value. It means that we can store money, that is, we can store coins, we can store currency notes, or we can also keep the money in the shape of digital money, that is in our bank accounts, so that we can use it at a future date when we require to purchase anything. So we can transfer our purchasing power from present to future. Money has removed the drawbacks of barter system. Barter system is the system in which was in force thousands of years ago. Though barter system is still in use in some parts of the country, say some African communities, or in some rainforests of Amazons, there it is also prevalent in some other parts of the world, but it is barter system in which there is direct exchange of goods and services with other goods and services, and there is no use of money as a medium of exchange. But in the case of barter system, there were many problems. First was double coincidence of wants. That is, if the two persons are involved in transaction, in exchange of goods and services, both the persons should have the same thing which the other person wants. Suppose if I want rice and I have wheat and want rice. The other person should have rice. That is the opposite, which I want the other person should have. I have wheat, other person should have rice, so that the transaction can take place. Which I want, other person must have, and what other wants, I must have the same. So it was the double coincidence of wants, reciprocal of wants. That is, we have to fulfill the wants of the other person. Only in that position the transaction or the exchange of goods and services can take place. If suppose I want sugar and the other person is having rice, so the transaction cannot take place. The problem of barter system was also that we could not store it, the goods and services, for an indefinite period. In the case of money, we can store it in bank lockers, or we can keep it at home, or we can keep our money in our bank accounts. But in the case of barter system, there is direct exchange of goods and services. We cannot store tomato, onion, fruits, vegetables, rice, wheat for indefinite period. We cannot store our services of the carpenter or laborer. In most of the cases, such as rice, fruits, vegetables, the value of the goods will diminish drastically, or it may reduce to zero. So the barter system was having the problem of store of value. There was also the limitation of barter system in respect of deferred payment. Today, if we take loan from someone, we promise him that we will return it with interest. Suppose I take 100 rupees and promise that I will return it with 10% interest. So after 1 year, we will return 110. But in the case of barter system, if I say promise to a laborer that you do labor work in my home for 1 month and I will give you 50 kg of rice. But it may be possible that due to rain or excessive hot weather, all my crop of rice or wheat which I have promised may destroy. So what will I give to the laborer? Because laborer was thinking that he will receive the rice or wheat and he will survive. He will give the same to his family members for eating. But now, after 1 month, what he will get? It may be also possible that after 1 month, the price of rice or wheat may increase very sharply because of some destruction of crops in the huge area. So in that case, you may also hesitate to make the payment, to give the rice, because the value of rice has increased, because the production has decreased all over in a greatly reduced. So in view of these problems of the barter system, such as double coincidence of wants, store of value, deferred payment, etc., with the passage of time, money has been evolved so that it can act as a medium of exchange. Today, we go to the shopkeeper, we buy something, and in return, we give him currency notes, coins, or make payment digitally, and that's all. We do not have to think about the wants of the other people. They can buy anything with the help of the money we have given to them. In the case of money, we can store it for future use. If we take something on take some loan from other person, we can return it with interest. So the money has removed the drawbacks of the barter system. We can are now very easy. We have not to find the other person who has the same thing which we want. We have not to negotiate the price. The prices of the goods and services are already fixed. We have not to negotiate with many persons, that so that we can get the maximum value in respect of our goods. So money is a medium of exchange which is generally accepted in payment of goods, services, and settlement of debts. If we want to pay off debt, we can make the payment of the same in currency notes, coins, or make payment digitally. So money is a medium in which the prices of various goods and services are expressed. In the olden days, that is, if we look at the history, the barter system was in force. We could, in those days, people could not express the value of their item in respect of the other goods. Suppose we were having 1 kg of rice, say 1000 years ago. There are many things in on the other side: wheat, sugar, onion, fruits. Whether it is possible that in respect of rice we are to mark the value of each other thing, because there are hundreds and thousands of items in the market. So it was not practically possible in case of barter system to fix the value, to express the value of one item in respect of the other item. But today we are having money as a medium of exchange, where we can fix the value of the goods and services. For example, in case of, say, carpenter, we can avail his services, say, by paying $500 per day. We can purchase a computer by paying, say, $500. So in this way, today we are in a position to fix the value of goods and services in terms of money. So it has become very convenient for us to exchange, to buy and sell goods. If we sell the goods, we receive money. If we buy goods, we pay them money. While coins and currency notes are physical forms of money that people can hold and exchange. Here you can see that these are coins and these are currency notes. These are the physical forms of money. Checks and other electronic payments are considered to be more modern forms of money. Examples of money are US dollars, euros, Japanese yen, British pounds, Indian rupee. Now our topic is money through the ages and exploration of its evolution. Today we have currency notes and coins with us. We also have debit cards, credit cards, and use internet banking so that we can buy things from the market or make purchases online. In this course, we will discuss whether the money which exists today in the form of currency notes, coins, or in digital form, whether it existed in thousands of years ago in the same form, or what was the form of money, or what was the position thousands of years ago, and what is the evolution of money through the ages, how the transactions were taking place in the past, and how the money has come into its present form. Money as we know it today has a fascinating and complex history that spans thousands of years. It has evolved from simple forms of trade and barter to sophisticated financial systems and digital currencies. Now will have a brief overview of the evolution of money. First is barter system. If we look at history, we will find that thousands of years ago, there was direct exchange of goods and services with other goods and services. And the money was not used as a medium of exchange. Suppose if a person was having tomato and he wanted carrots, a person will have to find the person which has carrots because a person wants carrots. So he will also have to find the person B which not only has carrots but also wants tomatoes in exchange of his goods. So it was a double coincidence of wants. That is, both the sides should have the same thing which the other person wants. Suppose if A person wants carrot but B person wants, say, rice, can the transaction take place? Because B person has what A wants, but B does not want tomato, he wants rice. So the transaction will not take place. So it was very difficult in the case of barter system when the other person was having other wants which the first person was not having. Usually in the case of barter system, two parties were involved, but there were also situations or circumstances when more than two persons were involved in buying or in exchange of goods and services. We have already discussed the same in detail in our earlier course on barter system. In the case of barter system, not only goods were exchanged with one another, goods were also exchanged with the services. Here you can see that here apples are being exchanged with the carpenter in so that he may provide his services. So in the earliest human societies, people engaged in barter where goods and services were directly exchanged for other goods and services. It is still used. Barter system is still used in some parts of the world. For example, in some African countries, in some parts of the African countries, it is being adopted by some communities. It is also being used by some tribal people in Amazon rainforest. A very big fair is also being organized annually in Assam, in India, which is known as June Beam Mela. So, barter system which was being adopted on a very large scale for the exchange of goods and services thousands of years ago is now being used rarely in the present day circumstances because there were a lot of problems such as store of value. The people were unable to store the goods and services. If there is a farmer which is having apples, he cannot store the apples for an indefinite period. If a person is having tomato, the tomato will lose its value after 3-4 days. It is deferred payment was also a problem in the case of barter system. So there were many drawbacks in the case of barter system. The goods which were normally exchanged, the examples of the same are rice, wheat, salts, fruits and vegetables. In other words, we can say that though in the thousands of years ago, money was not in the form which we use it in present form, say in the form of currency notes and digital form, etc. So we can also say that the earliest forms of money was commodity money. That is, one commodity was exchanged with other commodity. So with the passage of time, metallic money came into existence. Initially, silver and gold coins were introduced as money. But because these gold and silver coins were very valuable, so it became very dangerous to carry gold and silver coins because the thieves may snatch it, could snatch it from the holder of those coins. With the passage of time, because it was dangerous to carry these coins, with the passage of time, coins made up of copper, zinc, and nickel came into existence. People thought that it is proper that we should shift manufacturing of gold and silver coins to the coins which are made of copper, zinc, and nickel. At present, stainless steel is also used to form metallic coins. You can see here that silver coins, stainless steel coins are being used. So these coins, all these coins are known as metallic money, whether they are gold, silver, or made of silver, made of stainless steel, copper, zinc, or nickel. All these are classified as metallic money, which are made of some metal. With the passage of time, as the trades expanded, it was thought that it is very difficult to carry metal coins from one place to another, and in the case of goods which were to be purchased in bulk, so if the goods are to be purchased in bulk, the metallic ones have to be also transported in bulk. So it was a very difficult situation for the traders. So with the passage of time, paper money came into existence. You can see here that these are all Indian rupee. Here these are dollars which are used in USA. So these are the forms of paper money where a particular quality of papers are being used. They are printed. It is not that any person can print it. These are printed by an appointed authority of the government, say by central bank or by the government itself. The invention of paper money marked a very important stage in the development of money. Paper money refers to the pieces of paper that function as a medium of exchange. That is, we can purchase goods and services with the help of paper money. It is backed by government or central bank. That is, when these are issued by the government or central bank, no person living in that particular country where these currencies are prevalent, no person can refuse to accept these paper currency in exchange of their goods and services, because it is backed by the government or central bank. It is the legal money. Credit money. Emergence of credit money took place almost side by side with that of paper money. It is a type of money that is created through loans, and it represents a debt between the borrower and lender. Go to bank. If you are having surplus money, you deposit your money with the bank. Now the bank keep a some portion of that deposit with themselves or with central bank. Only few portion of your deposit they keep as reserve, and the balance is given as loan to the other person. So when they give loan, it is the credit money. Credit money allows people to access funds when they do not have physical currency. With the emergence of credit money, people have been able to invest in new ventures, which led to significant advancements in technology, industry, and commerce. If we go through the history of the big corporate houses or big companies which we see today, we will find that they have taken huge loans. Though there may be some companies which might not have taken any loan, but most of the industries or the corporate houses have taken loans or are making use of credit money which they have availed from banks or other financial institutions. Plastic money. Now, if we have to go to some remote place, or we are, say, going to some 2000 kilometers away, whether we will keep the paper money bundle with us? No, we will use plastic money. We will have debit cards and credit cards with us, so that we can make the payment of hotels at that place. We can purchase goods and services at that place. Even where we are residing or where we are doing our job, we are now shifting from paper money to plastic money. What is plastic money? It is the form of, it is in the form of debit cards and credit cards that are used to make electronic payment. Debit cards are in respect of those payments where we are having our own account, own payment, own money in our bank accounts. But in the case of credit cards, we are making use of money which does not belong to us. We are availing it on credit, say as loan from the other person or other financial institution, say banks. The term plastic money comes from the physical nature of these cards. You will find that these cards are mostly made of plastic. So when these are made of plastic, they have been come to known as plastic money. They aim at removing the need for carrying cash to make transactions. When we go to the market, we say we want to purchase a computer which is, say, worth $1000. We will need not to have the dollars in physical form. We will go to the shopkeeper, we will use our debit card or credit card, and we can make the payment. So it has become very easy for, in the present day circumstances, to buy and sell things, and for that purpose we can use plastic money. We can make use of debit card and credit cards. It has made the transactions very easy. So now, next form, or with the passage of time, electronic money has also come into existence. What is electronic money? It refers to the money that exists in the banking computer system that may be used to facilitate electronic transaction. As you know how Google Pay works, money is lying in our bank accounts. Google Pay facilitates the payment. We can also make use of PayPal, net banking. In the case of net banking, we open the site of the bank and we then open our account by using username, password, and after logging in or signing in, we will enter the particulars of the other person, say his bank account and other bank particulars, his name, account number, etc., whatever is required online. Then we can make the payment through net banking. It is also called internet banking. In the case of internet banking or electronic money, printing cost of notes has reduced. when the government or central bank prints currency, whether it is the paper money or in the form of coins, costs have to be incurred, such as if the alloy coins are to be minted, cost of the metal or printing or transportation charges are involved. In the case of paper money, special paper is imported from a specified country, and only then security features are in, involved in the making of these currency notes, so that duplication of these currencies notes is avoided. So there is a lot of cost involved, whether the government or the central bank wants to print physical notes or wants to mint coins. So the use of electronic money has reduced such type of costs. Anytime, anywhere net banking is possible. We can make use of internet banking. We can use PayPal, Google Pay or internet banking and make the payment to the other person instantly. Account tracking has also become convenient. That is, by sitting at our home, we can check our bank accounts online. In the case of Google Pay or other online apps, we can also have some overview of our few transactions which we have done in the recent past. But there is a problem with the electronic money, that is, cyber crimes have increased. Cyber criminals are always busy in developing new and new computer viruses. They may hit our computer and they can steal our credentials, personal information from our computer. If they succeed in their nefarious activities, then they can also take away substantial amount from our bank accounts. So we should be aware of the cyber security safety tips which we should take, so that we can protect our computer and the data which is stored in our computers. So while using internet banking, we should be aware of what type of precautions we should take, such as we should not keep a password which resembles the name of our relatives or our son, daughter, wife, or we should not keep it as which resembles our date of birth. In the case of internet banking, or when we are using debit card, credit card, it has become very convenient to make the payment. At the click of a button, we can purchase anything provided we have sufficient money in our account. When we make the payment in hard currency, we feel it. But when we make the payment online just by the click of a button, we feel less. So many times there are unnecessary purchases when we are using internet banking, debit card or credit card. Now the topic before us is mastering money, understanding its vital functions. Functions of money can be broadly classified into two types: primary functions and secondary functions. Primary functions are of two types, or the primary functions are medium of exchange and measure of value, and in the case of secondary functions, these are store of value and standard of deferred payment. We will discuss it one by one. First is primary functions. Primary functions mean those functions which are the most basic or essential functions of money. Basic or essential functions of money that money must perform in every country. These are the essential functions of money, which the money has to perform in any economy or country. First primary function is medium of exchange. Money can be used to make the payment for any goods and services. Suppose we want to purchase a television and its cost is say $1,000. We can make the payment of $1,000 and we will take away television. Suppose if the tomatoes are one, the cost of 1 kg of tomato is say $1. We will pay $1 in coins or digitally or through physical currency, and we will take away. So the money acts as the medium of exchange so that we can buy goods and services. But it was very difficult for exchange of goods and services to take place thousands of years ago, because in when we look at the history, at that time money was not in existence. The goods and services were exchanged directly with other goods and services, and money was not used as a medium of exchange because money has not existed by that time, has not come into existence. If in the case of barter system, there was the problem of double coincidence of wants. That is, every person involved in the transaction must have what the other person wants. If I have rice and wants wheat, I will have to find the other person which wants rice in exchange. That is, if a person has wheat and I want rice, I will have to find the person which has rice and also wants wheat in exchange. But if I have been able to find the other person which has rice, but that person wants sugar in return of his rice, then the transaction was not possible. So it was very difficult thousands of years ago for the exchange of goods and services to take place, because money was at that time as a medium of exchange. There was direct exchange of goods and services. Next primary function of money is measure of value. Money can be used to measure the value of goods and services. Suppose at present we want to use the services of a say laborer, and his the services of his 1 day cost say $100 per day. By paying $100, we can use his services for 1 day. So we have been able to measure the value of goods and services at present. But what was in the past done? If we look at the history, when the barter system was in force, there was a very big problem to measure the value of goods of money, to measure the value of goods and services. Suppose if I was having eggs and I wanted milk. Now, how many eggs should I give? How many eggs? Number of eggs. How many number of eggs I should give in return of 1 liter of milk? Because the other person may be say desiring to have 10 eggs for 1 liter, but I am having eggs and I am only ready to pay say 6 eggs in return of 1 liter of milk. So the exchange of goods was very difficult in the barter system, because the value of goods was not fixed in respect of other quantities, in respect of some particular medium of exchange. For every, it was not possible to measure the value in respect of each commodity. Suppose it is eggs, there may be other items, say rice, sugar, fruits of many times, many types, vegetables. Whether it is possible that for in respect of each other goods, say rice, sugar, fruit, vegetables, we fix the value of proportion of the goods which one person should give to another to arrive at the transaction. So it was very difficult, but nowadays it is very easy. The items in most of the cases is already fixed by the shopkeepers. We give them payment and we get the goods or services. Now the secondary functions of the money are those functions which are supplementary to the primary functions, and these secondary functions are also known as derivative functions. Now what, now first secondary function of money is money can be saved and used to purchase and goods and services in future. Suppose I am having say $1,000 with me. I can save it in the form of say coins, in the form of physical notes, or we can keep it in our bank accounts. At present, this is the what we can do at in the present day. But in the case of barter system, when the money was not in existence, it was nearly impossible to store the value of the goods and services. Can we store tomato for 2 years? Can we store wheat for 10 years? Because with the passage of time, the value of tomato will come to zero, say after 10 days. Wheat may be hit by insecticides, say after 1 or 2 years. So when the barter system was in force, we could not store their value. But at present, we can store money in the form of physical notes, coins, or we can keep our money in the bank accounts and we can use it at a future date so that we can purchase items in future date, or that money can be used by our son or daughters or relatives at some future date. But this was not possible in the case of barter system. Next is standard of deferred payment. Money acts as standard for payments which are to be made in future. Suppose we take a loan of say rupees, say $1,000 from someone. At present, we require to purchase something, or we want to do some renovation in our home. We go to the bank and take a loan of say $1,000, and we say that after 1 year I will return it with say 10% interest per annum. So after that, after 1 year, I will return to the bank $1,000 plus 10% interest. We can also make the payment of loan in in the form of EMI, equated monthly installments. But what, there was a problem in the case of barter system. Suppose I am having rice, I want wheat. Whether I will give rice to other person when the other person is not having wheat, or is not having anything? No, we will not give it, because I also want wheat. Either he give me some money or give a promise that he will return it with interest. But money was not in existence thousands of years ago. On in that situation, or in that scenario, there was direct exchange of goods and services. Give one thing and get another thing. There was also the problem of deferred payment, because if, say, I was having rice and I availed the services of a laborer for, say, 1 month, and laborer give the services to construct the house to me for, say, 1 month, and I promise that I will give him rice 50 kg after 1 month. But in the meantime, the weather was not proper, there was a lot of rains, or there was a lot of heat, and due to that, the production of rice was totally damaged. The production crops of rice were totally damaged. I was not having anything in the form of rice crop. So what will the laborer get? Laborer is not having anything, except he was thinking that he will get 50 kg of rice and he will give it to his family for feeding. So there was a problem of deferred payment in the case of barter system, which the money has solved in the present day circumstances. We can return the money along with interest. So in these days, money has solved a lot of problems. We need not to think about the wants of other people. There is no problem of double coincidence of wants. We can store its value, and we can take some goods or services, and by taking loan from financial institution or banks and return the same with interest. So now the next question before us is there any asset other than money which can be used as store of value? We have discussed that money has store of value. We can store money in bank. We can keep the money in our lockers at home, in bank lockers, or in the shape of bank accounts. We can keep it in saving account, fixed deposits, recurring deposits, or in some other investments. We can use our money. But the question is there any asset other than money which can be used as store of value, so that the value of money is not affected? This question means that whether there are assets or investments besides traditional forms of money, such as cash or currency, that can also be held or invested, in which the primary purpose of preserving or potentially increasing their value over time. It means that we normally keep money in the form of cash or currency. What are the other forms in which we can keep the money other than cash or currency, so that we can store the value of money? Answer is yes, there are many other assets other than money which can be used as store of value. An asset serving as a store of value should hold its value or potentially grow in worth over time. Some common assets, that is, we are giving you some examples of those assets that serve as stores of value, include precious metals, gold, silver, and platinum. That is, we can use the money to buy precious metals, say gold, silver, and platinum. We can also invest our money in land, buildings, factories. or we can use our money to purchase arts, antiques, rare coins, or stamps. We can also use it money, or we can use those assets such as certain types of timber, rare earth metals. All where if we have these assets such as gold, silver, land, building, arts, tech, antiques, timbers, rare earth metals, where if we have these items, these assets act as a store of value. It depends on our individual preference whether we will like to have these assets or we will like to have money in cash or currency notes. It depends on our individual preference. If we say want that we will have to spend money on the marriage, which is say after 2 months, we will keep it in the form of money, cash, in currency notes or in bank accounts. We will not use that money for purchasing land or buildings, or we will not keep it gold or silver. Suitability of an assets also depends on market conditions. If the market condition is in recession, we will not like to invest in land or buildings. It also depends on economic factors. Many such assets have benefits over money as a store of value. They may earn a return while money as cash does not earn a return. If we keep the money in physical notes or coins at home, they will not earn anything. But if we keep assets like gold, silver, it may be possible, may or may not be possible, that its value may increase. The value of gold may increase, value of real estate, land, building may increase. It may also decrease, but it may also increase. But if we have simply cash at our home, its value will never increase. Though with the passage of time, due to inflation, its value may decrease. But the chances of its value increasing when we are having money in the form of cash will not increase at all. However, money is most liquid of all assets. It means that if we want to purchase something, we will take cash, which we are having in the form of currency notes or coins, we will give it to other person. It is the most liquid. But when we are having assets like gold, silver, or real estate or arts, we will firstly have to sell our building or land or gold or silver and get money, and after that we will be in a position to spend that money on buying other goods and services. When we are having money in the form of cash, we will not have to incur any transaction costs. We can buy the things directly. But when we are having assets like gold, silver, real estate, then we will firstly have to transfer it in the form of money, in the form of cash, in the form of currency notes, or in our bank accounts, so that we can purchase the other goods and services. The problem of money as a store of value is that it loses its value during inflation. Inflation is continuously happening, but when inflation is more, its value decreases a lot. The topic before us is money matters, exploring money's essential properties. The essential properties of money are durability, portability, cognizability, fungibility, security, scarcity, and divisibility. We will discuss each of these properties one by one. First is durability. Money should be able to withstand the repeated use. You can see here that these are the currency notes and these are the coins which are in use in India. So these are the forms of, this is the physical currency notes and these are made of metal. So money should be able to withstand repeated use. If we give these physical notes to other person, he can use it to purchase something from some other person. The coins can also be used by large number of persons, transferred from one person to another, another to another. So it is not that the physical notes will destroy after say 2 or 3 days, as it was in the case of barter system. If we say exchange tomatoes with rice, the tomatoes will lose their value or will totally come destroyed after say 10 days. But money a commodity, is a thing which should be able to withstand repeated use. It can be repeatedly used. When they are given to other person to buy something, that person can give it to the another person. Next quality of money is, or characteristic is, that money can be carried easily and transported. Digital money is most portable form of money. We can carry the physical notes and coins from one place to another. And if we use debit card, credit card or internet banking, it is the most portable form. But when barter system was in force thousands of years ago, it was very difficult to transport goods from one place to another, because in the case of barter system there was direct exchange of goods and services with other goods and services. And in those days money was not being as medium of exchange. Next feature of money is cognizability. Its value must be easily identified. You can look at these currency notes where its value is clearly written on each of these. It is 200 rupee, 100 rupee, 20 rupee, 50 rupee. It is easily recognizable. It can be easily identified. In most of the cases, their colors are different. Though it may be similar in some cases, mostly the colors of the different physical notes which are of different value are having different type of printing. They are of different size, different color and different ink. All of these make it easier to recognize its value. We can easily recognize by looking at the design or shape or printing that it is of so much value. Next is fungibility. Fungibility of money means that one unit of a specific currency is interchangeable and completely equivalent in value to another unit of the same denomination. It means that if we are having say $10, if we are having another $10 in physical form, such as in the form of a physical note, both these physical notes of $10 denomination will be of equal value. They can be exchanged with one another. There is no problem, because the value of one physical note of $10 is equal to $10 of another physical note. Security. Money must be extremely difficult to counterfeit. It is not, though the paper money is in the form of a paper, it should not be that we can easily print it. There must be some security features in it. Money should be designed and manufactured in a way that makes it hard and or nearly impossible for unauthorized individual or entities to produce fake or fraudulent copies of that currency. Next is scarcity. money should be scarce in supply so that its value may remain stable. Divisibility. What it means? Divisibility of money means that a currency can be easily divided into smaller units or denominations to facilitate transactions of varying values. What it means? It means that, say, we want to purchase rice, and rice is, say, $10 1 kg. Cost of 1 kg of rice is $10. But if the physical notes are printed in, say, of only $100, whether it will be possible to purchase only 1 kg of rice? No, because there is money is not of that value which can be exchanged with rice. So to facilitate the transactions or buying of things or buying of goods and availing services, the money has been divided into currency has been divided into smaller units, or currency has been printed in the form of smaller denominations so that we can buy goods or avail the services in varying values. If a thing is of, say, $1, we pay him $1. If it is, say, $10, we give him $10. A dollar can be divided into cents, 100 cents in a dollar. It makes the exchange of different quantities of items possible and simple. In this picture, you can see that this is $100, $50, $20, and $10. In the same way, in the case of Indian currency, physical notes of different denomination are there so that we can buy things easily. There is easy purchasing of goods and services, and we are in a position to make payment accordingly. If we say, think that these currencies are not there and only 200 rupee note was there in circulation or was printed by the government or central bank of India or RBI of India, then it might have created problem if we wanted to, say, purchase 1 kg of tomato, because its value is, say, rupees 30 at present, say rupees 30. Then if we wanted simply to purchase 1 kg of tomato, whether we will have to then buy minimum tomatoes which are equivalent to 200, so it would have become wastage of commodity, and it might have resulted into many other financial problems for the individuals as well. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.